Jackie Christie has always been seen as one of the strongest women on reality television. If you've followed her journey on Basketball Wives, you know she's not the kind of person who shows weakness in front of the camera. She's been through countless arguments, dramatic confrontations, and moments that went viral, but through it all, Jackie came across as unshakable, someone who could hold her own no matter what. But recently, that image took a hit. In a surprising and emotional livestream, Jackie appeared in a way that fans had never seen before. She sat in front of her phone, her eyes red and swollen from crying. Her hands trembled as she spoke, and there was no script, no polish, just raw honesty. What she revealed during that livestream left her followers stunned. Jackie accused former NBA star Chris Webber of using her name in a dishonest business deal. According to Jackie, Chris used her reputation to convince investors to put money into a company without her permission. It was shocking news. After all, Chris Webber is a Hall of Fame basketball player, someone who people respect. No one could have predicted that his name would be caught up in this kind of drama in 2025. But Jackie didn't just throw out random accusations. She was clear about what had happened. She named names, shared details, and gave a full picture of what she believed was a well-planned act of deception. And this wasn't some petty reality show feud. This was something that could have serious legal and financial consequences. To understand how it all started, let's go back a few years. In 2021, Chris Webber made headlines when he announced a new business venture. He launched a cannabis company called Playerson Holdings. The company promised to focus on helping minorities enter the cannabis industry, a space that had been difficult for people of color to break into. On paper, it looked like a great idea. Chris brought his fame, other partners brought the money, and everything seemed like it was going to help the community. But behind the scenes, things weren't as clean as they seemed, at least, not according to Jackie. She claims she didn't even know she was being connected to the company in an official way. Jackie says that, without asking her, people involved with the business started putting her name in presentations and investor materials. And not just in passing, she was listed as a brand consultant, which sounded harmless, but could actually put her at risk. If something went wrong with the company, she could be blamed. Even worse, Jackie says she never signed any paperwork agreeing to that role. If my name's on those documents, someone either forged my signature or added me without asking, Jackie said during her livestream. She made it clear she was ready to take the matter to court if necessary. Once Jackie spoke out, people online started digging into the story. And sure enough, her name did appear in some documents linked to Chris Webber's company. That's when the situation started spiraling. Some people thought Jackie was making a big deal out of nothing. But those who had followed her for years could tell this wasn't about creating drama. The pain in her voice, the way she spoke, it felt real. Jackie wasn't performing, she was heartbroken. What made things even worse, according to Jackie, was that Chris never reached out to her after she went public. There was no phone call, no message to clear the air. Instead, Jackie said she received a letter from lawyers linked to his company. The letter demanded that she stop making what they called false and harmful statements about him. Imagine that finding out your name had been used without your permission, and instead of an apology, you get a legal threat. But Jackie didn't back down. She went live again, this time with more confidence. She hinted that she had evidence to prove everything she was saying. Screenshots, voicemails, messages from people who knew what was happening. Jackie said she had it all. If they want to fight, they picked the right person, she said during the livestream. This wasn't just about some behind-the-scenes drama on a reality show. This was real life, with real consequences. Jackie Christie, the woman who had stood her ground in every reunion special, was now fighting something much bigger, a situation that involved business, legal risks, and personal betrayal. Doe Christie, Jackie's husband, wasn't surprised when everything hit the fan. According to friends close to the couple, Doe had warned Jackie about Chris Webber a long time ago. Not because of some big dramatic falling out, but because he had a gut feeling. Doe and Chris had played together back in their Sacramento Kings days. Out on the court, they worked as teammates, but behind closed doors, things weren't always smooth. There had been tension, differences in values, and moments where egos clashed. Still, Jackie always tried to see the good in people. That's just who she is. When Chris came back into her life years later with this idea about supporting minority voices in the cannabis business, Jackie wanted to be supportive. She wasn't trying to get involved in the business side. She just thought she was helping highlight a positive cause. She shared posts on social media, mentioned the company during interviews, and even took a few photos at one of their events. But Jackie didn't know that those friendly gestures were being treated like official endorsements. That's what hurt the most. Jackie wasn't trying to play some kind of game. She genuinely thought she was doing something good. But according to messages that have come out since, Chris and his team might have seen her differently. One leaked message from someone connected to Chris's company said, "Jackie's name sells. If she says she's involved, people will invest. Just get her to post once." Jackie said she never saw that message until someone who used to work with Chris sent it to her. The same person also shared a recording where a voice that sounded like Chris talked about using her name to help get investors on board. The phrase "using her brand" kept ringing in Jackie's mind. That's when Doe lost his patience. He had tried to stay calm and let Jackie handle things, but once it became clear that her name had been used on official documents without her knowing, Doe stepped in. Sources close to the couple said there was a serious conversation between Jackie and Doe. He wasn't angry at her, he was angry that she had been dragged into this mess. Doe reminded Jackie that their name wasn't just personal anymore. With his role as a coach, their reputation mattered in both their professional and personal lives. "You have to protect your name," Doe reportedly told her. That was the moment Jackie knew she had to act, not just for herself, but for her family. Things started getting worse from there. Jackie noticed that a sponsorship deal she had been negotiating suddenly went quiet. A company she'd worked with for years stopped returning her calls. Friends she had in the industry began to distance themselves. The walls felt like they were closing in. Jackie realized that if she didn't speak up, she could lose more than just money. She could lose her voice. But instead of backing down, Jackie did what she always does. She stood her ground. She announced that she had hired a legal team. She said they were looking into filing a lawsuit not just against Chris, but against anyone who had used her name or image without permission. This wasn't a bluff. Jackie was serious. Then came the voicemail that changed everything. Out of nowhere, someone who had once worked with Chris Webber reached out to Jackie. They shared a short recording where Chris could allegedly be heard saying, "Just say Jackie's part of it. She doesn't have to be there. Her name makes it look clean." That was the piece of proof Jackie needed. This wasn't just a misunderstanding. It was clear that her name had been used as part of a plan. Jackie handed the voicemail to her legal team. They started gathering all the evidence: emails, text messages, public statements, and investor documents where Jackie's name appeared. One of the lawyers said the evidence wasn't just concerning, it showed what looked like clear signs of fraud. They even found that her name had appeared in promotional materials for 2 other failed businesses from 2022. Jackie had never seen those documents before. To make things worse, some of the investors began coming forward. One person said they had put $50,000 into the company because they believed Jackie was part of the project. "I only signed because Jackie was listed as part of the media plan," the investor told a reporter. That comment spread fast, and suddenly Jackie wasn't just fighting for herself anymore. She was at the center of what could become a major investigation into fraud. Chris Webber, for his part, stayed silent. There were no social media posts, no interviews, no statements. His official website went offline for maintenance. Fans and followers began pointing out that his silence seemed suspicious. Even reporters tried to get comments from former teammates, but no one was willing to speak up. Meanwhile, Jackie kept pushing forward. She continued to go live on social media, sharing updates and responding to messages from supporters. People began rallying behind her. Hashtags like "Stand with Jackie" and "Where's Chris Webber" started trending. Even some celebrities quietly showed support through cryptic social media posts. Jackie's story was no longer seen as just reality show drama. She had become a symbol for people, especially women, who have had their names or images misused. "This isn't just about me," Jackie said during one of her streams. This is about all the women who've been told to stay quiet when their names were used without their say. I'm not going to be one of them. Behind the scenes, her lawyers kept working. They were gathering statements, preparing to request internal documents from Chris's company, and exploring every legal option. But Jackie made it clear she wasn't doing this for revenge. She wanted the truth. She wanted accountability. He could have just told the truth, apologized, and fixed it. But instead, he tried to scare me into silence. That was his mistake, Jackie said. One thing is certain, Jackie Christie isn't going anywhere. She's not backing down. With proof on her side and determination in her heart, she's showing the world she's not someone to take lightly. And if anyone thought this would fade away, they were wrong. This is just the beginning of Jackie's fight for justice. And that brings us to where we are right now. Jackie Christie didn't just speak out. She made it clear that she's ready to fight for her name, her reputation, and her truth. What started as an emotional livestream turned into a movement. People aren't just watching for the drama anymore. They're watching because Jackie's story speaks to something bigger. How easily people, especially women, can have their image misused without their consent, and how hard it is to get justice when powerful names are involved. Chris Webber's silence so far has only added fuel to the fire. No statement, no apology, no explanation, just lawyers and legal threats. But as we've seen, Jackie isn't backing down. Her followers are behind her, the hashtags keep trending, and more people are asking the same question: where is Chris Webber? This situation isn't just about reality TV or celebrity gossip. It's about accountability, respect, and standing up when you're being wronged. Whether Jackie takes this all the way to court or forces a public reckoning, one thing is certain: she's not going to be silenced. So what do you think? Is this the start of a major legal battle? Will Chris Webber finally speak up? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're standing with Jackie, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video so more people can see what's really going on. Thanks for watching and stay tuned, because this story is far from over.